very beautiful um, description here of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is well-wisher and friend of all living entities. He's coming into this earth, propagating the Sankirtana Yajna, uh, um, drowning everyone in the holy name, basically in chanting of the holy name. Narottam Das Thakur says, Golo Karo Prema Dhana Harinama Sankirtan. Krishna himself brought that the chanting the holy name. Now he didn't just bring, he wanted to distribute, share, inundate whole earth in chanting the holy name, by the chanting of the holy name, congregational chanting. So we see how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in his tour, actually his preaching program began when he started, from Jagannath Puri to South India, mostly. He was embracing, he was very joyfully chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. It is said that the spiritual life is also very contagious. Very contagious. It's always nice to associate with those enthusiastic devotees. Because by seeing our enthusiasm, others also will be enthusiastic. In this age and time, when everything was kind of, shutting down, especially spiritually, degrading, but Krishna consciousness is a hope. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has set with his own example, he showed that how the holy name can be chanted with joyfully. He would embrace them. People would come, he would embrace them, and they would be intoxicated. And they also, Lord invested in them the spiritual potency. That's the way he did it. Okay, somebody comes, he empowers, he embraces them. Now you share this message. Now you share. And each and every person who was coming in contact and witnessed the Lord, he would empower everyone, and they would go to their own homes, their own villages. And they would inspire everyone to chant in this ecstatic chanting. And sometimes laughing, crying. And people are saying, what, they won't understand what this person has got it. But the person who got it can understand. Then he will give to others. They will also chant in ecstasy. That's why Prabhupada also did the same thing. When he came, he simply chanted the Mahamantra at the Tompkins Square Park. And people started coming, they got attached, they developed taste for it. They become so intoxicated and they wanted to distribute everywhere, mass congregational chanting. That's why congregational chanting has to be done very joyfully, enthusiastically. So here, but the point is given that, to become an empowered preacher, one must be favored by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or his devotee, because they're not different. The spiritual master. Spiritual master, again, is not like always initiating spiritual master. The spiritual masters means, the person who is cultivating you, also bringing you up in a spiritual life. Then you get initiated by initiating spiritual master, the instructing spiritual master, Siksha, Diksha, all these things. So when we learn, we get inspired and we share with others. And that happens only when we are getting blessings from a Vaishnava. That becomes contagious. Any comments on this? Any comments? Okay, let's move to the next 102. Text 102. You want to read? Okay, please go ahead.
গ্রামান্তর হইতে দেখিতা আইল যতজন তাঁর দর্শন কৃপায় হয় তাঁর সম.
People from different villages who came to see such an empowered individual would become like him simply by seeing him and receiving the mercy of his glance. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, none other than the Supreme Personality of God, is very attractive. Attraction, beauty is also a opulence. When they see this, his opulence, his beauty, his joy in chanting the holy name, and everyone was really looking at him only. And that's the nature of this world. Uh, he could see, they could see how he is like, lit the fire of Krishna consciousness everywhere. It's just like Prabhupada was here. In a short span of time in America, and thousands of people would gather for Rath Yatra and Sankirtan and present. And many people thought that if this person stays a little more time, he will make the whole world Krishna conscious. And that was his plan. But but what happens is, it is said that Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he had he had the ability to propagate Krishna consciousness and make the whole world. Because devotees ask Prabhupada, why didn't he do it? Because he's so kind, he's so merciful, give it to us. He left it something for us. Prabhupada says for me. And the same way, Prabhupada is also very merciful. He left the responsibility to us. So the parampara system is we live, we practice, and we carry on. We also share with others. That's the parampara system. Whatever way, best, at homes, home programs, bring your friends, everybody, invite them, and share them Krishna consciousness, not gossiping, not politics. Then again, on the street also we should gather like Rath Yatra, and regular also without Rath Yatra as well. We can gather and chant the holy name and share. That's our process. Mhm. When people came from different villages, they saw such an empowered individual would become like him simply by seeing him receiving the mercy of his glance. Actually, one can say, hey, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not there, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is present in this process. When we chant the holy name with genuinely Chaitanya Mahaprabhu participates. Lord Nityananda also participates. Everyone participates. Whole parampara is there with us. Only thing is we have to remember always we are the subservient to his devotees. Gopi Bhakti Pada Kamale Das Das Anudas. Like that way mode we can chant, we take, we will see the effect. It's very joyful. People will be inspired. Text 103, please.
সেই যায় গ্রামের লোক বৈষ্ণব করায়, অন্য গ্রামী আসি তারে দেখি বৈষ্ণব হয়।
When each of these newly empowered individuals returned to his own village, he also converted the villagers into devotees. And when others came from different villages to see him, they were also converted. This is the process. Actually, I'm from Orissa, and a district called Ganjam district. Ganjam district in each villages had a morning chanting in those days. People used to do holy in Mahamantra Sankirtan every morning actually. Now also several villages do. And unfortunately, very hard handful of old people are stuck. Youth were not taking because it was kind of not presented properly. But once upon a time, these places were vibrant in the Sankirtana Yajna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave to his people who came in his contact with them. They went and they shared with others. And that person, they shared with others. That way it spread like anything. It is happening. Actually, it is happening, especially in India. Also, it is happening very vibrantly now, and really, we can do the same thing in America also. It was happening. We need to revive back, give priority to Sankirtan, joyfully join the Sankirtan Yajna, and share with others. Share the joy with others. We cannot expect they will come to us. The holy name is so powerful that simply by hearing that their heart will be transformed. The secret will be developed and they will accept gradually. the Sankirtan process. Um, any questions, comments for this time?
সেই যাই আর গ্রামে করে উপদেশ, এই মতো বৈষ্ণব হইল সব দক্ষিণ দেশ।
Hmm. In this way, as an empowered man went from one village to another, all the people of South India became devotees. Uh, how fortunate, that's why you can still see the devotion in residents of South India. Please go ahead.
এই মতো এই মতো পথে যাইতে শত শত জন, বৈষ্ণব করেন তারে করি আলিঙ্গন।
Thus, many hundreds of people became Vaishnavas when they passed the Lord on the way and were embraced by him. Yeah.
যেই গ্রামে রহি ভিক্ষা করেন যার ঘরে, সেই গ্রামের মতো লোক আইসে দেখিবারে।
Hmm. In whatever village Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed to accept alms, many people came to see him. Yes.
প্রভুর কৃপায় হয় মহাভাগবত, সেই সব আচার্য হয়া তারিল জগৎ।
By the mercy of the Supreme Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, everyone became a first-class devotee. Later, they became teachers or spiritual masters and liberated the entire world. So this is a very beautiful thing in how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy is there also. But everything is not on the mercy only. Mercy is there of the Lord. Mercy of the Lord is still now there with us. And mercy of Srila Prabhupada is still there with us. But how I am acting that is very important. It also depends on the fertility of our heart. How fertile heart we have it, how we are enthusiastically taking, sincerely taking, submissively accepting. It works like that. It's not like the Lord Chaitanya's potency has minimized. No, Lord Chaitanya's potency is still there. Everyone became a first-class devotee. It means we all we should become a first-class devotee. Improve, because life is a complete constant purification, right? You all agree? We are purifying ourselves, our existence constantly, every day. Every day you purify ourselves by following the protocols, rules and regulations, guidance from the senior devotees. Then what happens? We all will become first-class devotees. And later they become teachers or spiritual masters and liberated the entire world.
এই মতো কইলা যাবৎ গেলা সেতু বন্ধে, সর্বদেশ বৈষ্ণব হইল প্রভুর সম্বন্ধে।
In this way, the Lord went to the extreme southern part of India and he converted all the provinces of Vaishnavism. Okay, please read. I'm coming 1 second.
নবদ্বীপে যেই শক্তি না কইলা প্রকাশে, সেই শক্তি প্রকাশী নিস্তারিল দক্ষিণ দেশে।
Read the English also for me for a moment, please. Yeah.
Hello. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual potencies at Navadvip, but he did manifest them in South India and liberated all the people there.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest his spiritual potencies at Navadip, but he did manifest them in South India and liberated all the people there. Purport. At that time, there were many smartas, non-devotee followers of Vedic rituals at the holy place of Navadip, which is also the birthplace of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Followers of the Smriti Shastra are called smartas. Most of them are non-devotees and their main business is following the Brahminical principles strictly. However, they are not enlightened in devotional service. In Navadip, all the learned scholars are followers of the Smriti Shastra, and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not attempt to convert them. Therefore, the author has remarked that the spiritual potency Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manifest at Navadip was by his grace manifested in South India. Thus, everyone there became a Vaishnava. By this, it is to be understood that people are really interested in preaching in a favorable situation. Wow, that's very nice. If the candidates for conversion are too disturbing, a preacher may not attempt to spread Krishna consciousness amongst them. It is better to go where the situation is more favorable. This Krishna consciousness movement was first attempted in India, but the people of India, being absorbed in political thoughts, did not take to it. They were entranced. They were entranced by the political leaders. We preferred, therefore, to come to the West, following the order of the spiritual master, and by the grace of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, this movement is being successful. I would like to hear if anyone has comments on this. Reflections. It's very clear, actually. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Navadip, Mayapur, and even though he appeared, but he did not manifest his potencies there. Because of course he did to certain people, only for certain people. He realized that he has came for us, for all of us. If he appeared in the Navadip, still people are not accepting him seriously. Because unless we accept him, we cannot receive the mercy. It's not like forcefully we can feed the medicine to somebody. So that's why he took sannyas. Sannyas will be very, for people, at least they will bow down, they will respect, they will start listening. That's where he delivered many impersonalist Mayavada sannyasis. But he preferred to go to South India from Jagannath Puri. He preferred to go to South India because it looks like people in South India were favorable for spiritual practice. That's why people can ask, why did he go? Because it looks like Prabhupada, people are very favorable for devotional service, spiritual life. Prabhupada also writes in the same way, why did Prabhupada came to America? He said, because when he was trying to preach, share in India, people are not very much interested that time. So that's why I said, by this it is to be understood that people are really interested in preaching in a favorable situation. I think our devotees worked very hard. Russia was not a favorable situation, right? Russia was not a favorable situation. But the faith on the holy name, devotees so conviction that they want to share. That's why Navratri is a vibrant place for Krishna consciousness. But ideas in general, people will like to share with others, those who can accept. His Holiness Tamal Krishna Gosai Maharaj. Tamal Krishna Gosai Maharaj, and as an incident, how he would do is in a Sunday feast program. And after the Sunday feast program, while the prasadam devotees are eating prasadam, he would go to different people. So he will ask certain questions. Uh, he'll ask certain questions, so he'll discuss with them and talk to them. Somebody say, how was the program? Somebody say, okay, nice. Then he would to another person, he said, how was the program and everything? He said, it's so nice, so wonderful, so great, like that. Then he knows that this person is more favorable. So he would invest on that person. I heard this long time back from some sources. So the Lord is merciful equally to everyone, but it depends on the individuals how one accepts it. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to South India And he manifested his spiritual potencies over there, not in Navadip, and liberated all of them. Any thoughts on this? More comments from this? Kabil Prabhu Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranam. Any comments anyone has?
I find it very, its purports are really enlightening. Even the ones from a couple of them last week as well, about Srila Prabhupada really talking about preaching.
Yeah.
It made me think that in general, this principle is there, that we, find a favorable situation. And it gives me even more appreciation for Srila Prabhupada, how there needs to be, devotees that even in unfavorable situations, they have to take a risk in order to make a difference take place, to be a catalyst for spreading Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada was one of those devotees that took a risk of going to a situation that was not so favorable. Many devotees, many people wouldn't be able to survive that type of experience. Srila Prabhupada, some of his godbrothers, they contemplated coming. Maybe some of them, tried. They went to, Europe, and tried. But they weren't very, very successful. And many think, oh, you have to go there, you'll be so contaminated. Srila Prabhupada, he took that risk to come to an unfavorable place. It just shows how extraordinary Srila Prabhupada is.
Yeah. And thank you. His disciples also worked very hard, isn't it? So
Yes. Yeah.
disciples work very hard when many times we don't look into it. So many devotees work very hard constantly, as it took so much of inconveniences to continue the movement and to share the Krishna consciousness according to their capacity or beyond their capacity also many times. But it's interesting thing that he manifested mostly in the favorable places. That's a smart also. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't wanted to leave anyone. He wanted to deliver everyone without any discrimination. And many times that doesn't work. He would have his own means, different means he would take to preach them, bring them to back. That's the reason he took sannyas. That, okay, now if I take sannyas, it'll be more favorable for me to preach. They will accept me. Thank you. Well,
and another thought here is that it's almost as if Srila Prabhupada is saying in the purport, if I understood correctly, that most of the people, they were interested in just following the Brahminical principles very strictly.
yeah.
And this was almost their disqualification
Yeah.
for receiving Krishna consciousness, because they were too attached to their, kind of the cultural aspects maybe, or the principles that they were following. And in Srimad Bhagavatam now, as you know, that we are studying the four Kumaras, they curse Jai and Vijay, and some of these verses, Lord Vishnu is talking about how dear the Brahmins are to him. The Brahmins are his life, and protection of Brahminical culture. And here we're seeing that the Brahmins, people that were too interested in just following Brahminical principles too strictly, this may become a barrier to become a Vaishnava.
It's interesting, right? That's why without spiritual teacher or guidance, one cannot practice bhakti very easily. One gets confused. Arjuna needed as a teacher. What is the Rupa Goswami says? Niyama agraha, niyama agraha. Just for the sake of following rules and regulations is also not conducive. And not completely rejecting the rules and regulations also not conducive for spiritual. One has to, rules and regulations are there for our spiritual progress. Once rules and regulations are not the goal of our life. So that sometimes when you do austerity, and we can be hard-hearted. Those austerity, those Brahminical services should purify our heart and make humble. But Smarta Brahmins especially was very hard. Till now you will find some are very, if they are left over, they're very hard, very hard. So the example Krishna is given also, right, in Srimad Bhagavatam, the Brahmanas who are Brahmana Patnis who got delivered by the mercy of the Lord very easily, but their husbands who were performing austerities and yajna, they forgot the real purpose of all these arrangements is to please Krishna and Balram. But they failed to please him because they are stuck to their rules that without completing the service, how can we feed somebody? It's like Krishna is coming, he says, I'm hungry. No, wait, no, let us clean everything, let us prepare all the rituals, then we will feed you. It happens in Jagannath Puri also, nice incidents are there. The loving devotion is, all these rules and regulations are subservient to devotional service. Should we move to the next? Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, please go ahead.
প্রভুকে যে ভজে তারে তাঁর কৃপা হয়, সেই সে এসব লীলা সত্যি করি লয়।
Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's empowering of others can be understood by one who is actually a devotee of the Lord and who has received his mercy. This is another interesting point. Because just seeing externally somebody, one cannot understand the ordinary human being. But only one who receives, he or she can understand. Again, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's empowering of others can be understood by one who is actually a devotee of the Lord and who has received his mercy.
অলৌকিক লীলায় যার না হয় বিশ্বাস, ইহলোক পরলোকে তার হয় নাশ।
If one does not believe in the uncommon transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he is vanquished both in this world and in the next. But I can tell that it's not very easy to believe this thing. Do you all agree? And it took me a long time. As Krishna also speaks in Bhagavad Gita, Avajananti Mam Muda Manasintan Ashritam. Even I come and perform this, Lord Krishna comes and perform this super excellent pastimes. Still, many has difficulty to accept. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not reveal such kind of opulences actually. He revealed the renounced order and spiritual opulences he revealed. Sometimes we are used to of seeing the Lord as Aishwarya Bhava. Right? Lord has to be like this, using crown, flute, or nicely dressed. Sannyas form is not very much, we never know that. It's not very attractive, I'm sorry. Generally, right? For the eyes of a renounced order of life is not very attractive. So it was very difficult for me also. It took a long time to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But he is, if one does not believe in the uncommon transcendental pastimes of the Lord, he is vanquished both in this world and in the next.
প্রথমেই কহিল প্রভুর যে রূপে গমন এই মতো জানিহ যাবৎ দক্ষিণ ভ্রমণ
Whatever I have stated about the beginning of the Lord's tour should also be understood to hold for as long as the Lord toured South India. So again, whatever I have stated about the beginning of the Lord's tour should also be understood to hold for as long as the Lord toured South India. Like this kind of activity is continued throughout the South India. I think he covered some of the portion of Maharashtra also. That's what I thought. I don't know if anyone knows. Please text 113.
এই মতো যাইতে যাইতে গেলা কুর্ম স্থানে কুর্ম দেখি কইল তারে স্তবন প্রণমে
When Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to the holy place known as Kurma Kshetra, he saw the deity and offered prayers and obeisances. Kurma Kshetra is a well-known place of pilgrimage. There's a temple there of Kurma Deva. In the Prapanamrita, it is said that Lord Jagannath took Sri Ramanujacharya from Jagannath Puri and one night threw him to Kurmakshetra. Kurmakshetra is situated on the line of the Southern Railway in India. One has to go to the railway station known as Srikakulam Road. From this station, one goes 8 miles to the east to reach the holy place known as Kurmachala. Those who speak the Telugu language consider this holy place very important. This statement is reported in the government gadget known as Ganjam Manual. there's a deity of Kurma there, and as mentioned above, Srila Ramanujacharya was thrown from Jagannath Puri to this place. At that time, he thought that the deity of Kurma was Lord Shiva's deity. Therefore, he was fasting there. Later, when he understood that the Kurma Murti was another form of Lord Vishnu, he instituted very gorgeous worship of Lord Kurma. This statement is found in the Prapanamrita, chapter 36. The holy place of Kurma Kshetra or Kurmasthana was actually re-established by Sri Pada Ramanujacharya under the influence of Lord Jagannath Dev at Jagannath Puri. Later, the temple came under the jurisdiction of the king of Vijayanagar. The deity was worshipped by the Vaishnavas of the Madhvacharya Sampradaya. Oh, I didn't know that. In the temple, there are some inscription said to be written by Sri Narahari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic succession of Madhvacharya. Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains those inscriptions as follows. 1. Sri Purushottama Yati appeared as the instructor of many learned men. He was a very favorite devotee of Lord Vishnu. 2. This preaching was accepted throughout the world with great respect, and by his power he liberated many non-devotees with strong reason and logic. 3. He initiated Ananda Tirtha and converted many foolish men to accept sannyas and punished them with his rod. 4. All his writings and words are very potent. He gave people devotional service to Lord Vishnu so they could be elevated to liberation in the spiritual world. 5. His instructions in devotional service were able to elevate any man to the lotus feet of the Lord. 6. Narahari Tirtha was also initiated by him and became the ruler of Kalinga province. 7. Narahari Tirtha fought with the Sabaras, who were Chandalas or hunters, and thus saved the temple of Kurma. 8. Narahari Tirtha was a very religious and powerful king. 9. In the Saka era, 1203, in the month of Vaisakha, in the fourth night of the moon's waxing period, on the day of Ekadasi, Narahari Tirtha dedicated to the holy name of Yogananda Nrsimhadev the temple he had constructed in on his order. The tablet is dated that every day, the very day corresponding to Saturday, March 29, 1281 AD. So here, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, if you know geographically, I know a little bit because I'm from that place. Here also written in Ganjam, known as Ganjam Manual. That's what I belong. And I'm from Ganjam district actually. I'm from Ganjam. So we can see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled from Jagannath Puri. Near where I stay, there's also a temple I find. It's called Nimokhandi. Nimokhandi means it's named after Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he said that on his way to South India, he rested at that place. So there's a temple there now also, and a lot of people are devotees of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I went, Vishnugata Prabhu was with me on my last trip to India. So I took him. We had a sankirtan on that place as well. So as you further come to Andhra Pradesh, this is place called Kurmakshetra. Kurmakshetra, as Prabhupada writes, also very nice. You get down in Srikakulam Road junction, and then you take a auto or car, something will take you to the Kurmakshetra. And according to the history, Ramanujacharya was spent some time in Jagannath Puri, but he was kind of, the way I understand, he was trying to fix the worship process in Jagannath Puri, the way he wanted to do. But Jagannath didn't like it. Jagannath didn't like it. Jagannath, it is said that, the Prabhupada writes here, right? One night he threw him to Kurmakshetra. Ramanujacharya is a great acharya from Sri Sampradaya. But it was, Jagannath has his different mode of service in accepting the service. It's very, it doesn't, rules and regulations are not very prominent. Loving aspect is more important. So the next day morning, Ramanujacharya finds himself in Kurmakshetra. So he was not very happy also. He thought this Kurmakshetra is kind of Sivalinga. I saw it's like a nice, big, like a hill, small hill kind of thing. Not big hill, a hill shape. So Kurmakshetra, some of you may have been to there.
It shows like Kurma avatar.
Yeah, it's a Kurma avatar. Yeah.
It's a full Kurma only. How it will be tortoise. The stone will be like that. If you see, observe properly.
Yeah. Well, if you observe, yeah, that's another thing. So he didn't know that time. Looks like there was no temple, was not there. So he thought, he wanted to worship Lord Vishnu. Later, he learned that he was revealed that he is Kurma deity. So he thought it's a Lord Shiva, but then he did fasting, he did austerity. The Lord revealed that it is a Kurma deity. Then he built a temple there. This beautiful temple in Kurmakshetra. Not only in Kurmakshetra, there's 30 minutes from there, we have ISKCON has our own project there. Anyone went to the Kurmagram? Anyone been to Kurmagram? Very beautiful.
Yeah.
You went there? Okay.
Yeah, we've been there.
Kurmagram, Bhakti, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj has a nice, has many acres of land, and devotees have really beautiful job actually. You all will like it. Varnashram system. The houses, the devotees live in each individual house is so big. That's the way Vedic culture and they used to live. They have their own well, they have many rooms, there's a veranda, and they have their own trees. and they have cows, their own irrigation system. They grow their own grains, trying at least up to some extent. A lot of visitors are coming nowadays to see how the people live. So this is very beautiful. I recommend anyone to go there. If you're going, you should try. But the next point here is that Ramanujacharya, he worshipped there, but later he says that here. Let me read that again. So this is under the jurisdiction of Vijayanagar. He says a temple came under the jurisdiction of King of Vijayanagar, and the deity was worshipped by the Vaishnavas of Madhvacharya Sampradaya. Later, it was worshipped by Madhvacharya Sampradaya when under the Vijayanagar. In the temple, there are some inscriptions said to be written by Sri Narahari Tirtha, who was in the disciplic section of Madhvacharya. So Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explained those inscriptions as follows. Those inscriptions by Narahari Thakur. It's proved that that it was served by Madhvacharya Sampradaya also. And nice inscriptions has been presented here. Any comments on this? It's 8:51.
I just sent you a link, Prabhu.
Very nice. About what? You can tell also that.
Do you want me to share it?
You're from that place, I know. You can share. Speak.
I'm sharing the Kurma gram you were talking about.
Oh, okay, Kurbagram.
Yeah, just 1 second.
The ISKCON project?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
And you can talk about it. I'll just share the pictures.
I can stop sharing. You can share with your laptop.
Can you see it?
Yeah, you can share now. Yeah, please.
Do you see the pictures or no?
You send the link. Hold on, let me open it. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji, we can see the picture. Very nice.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I can let me share the screen. Hold
Yeah,
on.
go ahead, Prabhu.
Today is a holiday, so we all can have more time. Should I go to the gallery? You guide me.
You can talk about whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is nice to have the visuals in front of you to actually see. I was looking for Kurma Kshetra, see if I can find pictures of and in the map. It's just nice to follow along with what is written. Vishnugada Prabhu does that. He walks us through the whole experience, Srikakulam Road, and then you go 6 miles east and just, trying to have that experience. So yes, go ahead, Prabhu.
Thank you. I know that if I speak, no one will understand. So this is the picture actually itself. They do grow their own grains. Maharaj's picture is also there. There's a beautiful, it's not hut. I'm very much amazed to see how luxuriously they can stay, Vedic culture. They have a water system here. They have a system with using the bulls. They irrigate their farm. Very expertly, people are doing very sincerely. And this is the place, this prasadam, such kind of places. Thank you for sharing that link. It makes very
Look
easy.
at that. Look at that vegetable, how he was holding.
I'll distribute. Okay. I will.
Yeah.
And here you see they are the grains. I think I'm not a good farmer or anything. I don't have much idea. Vegetables. It's a good inspiration. You all come to Orissa, I will take everybody. Or Pranath Prabhu is there. He's in Hyderabad. If he's there. Have you been to Pranath Prabhu? Have you been to this place? No?
Who?
Prananath Prabhu, I was asking.
Sorry, Prabhu, I was distracted. Which place?
Kurma Kshetra.
Yes.
How about Kurma Gram?
I don't think so.
Just sharing some. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you see that. You see this one. I want to show you because this may you might be everybody may be interested to see. I was so impressed. You all can see it,
Mm-hmm.
and one family lives in one one house. um, and like several houses, they built it. Devotees. Okay. I don't know how to. Yeah. Any questions, comments? I can stop it here. Prabhupada has given us a very wonderful culture. Unfortunately, uh, we need to learn more and appreciate what we have. The holy name, chanting the holy name, simple living and high thinking, and people lived in happily for since time immemorial. So long time when people have been living very nice. These are the examples devotees try to present. Actually, devotees are living here. Anyway, everything is Desikala path, right? I don't know if this is possible in America. It's possible in their own way. Simple living and high thinking. Prabhupada wanted to do in Gita Nagari. So it all depends on devotees' interest, isn't it?
Yeah.
It all depends on devotees' interest, what we want. I'll stop it here. Thank you so much, Sahib. Anyone has any more comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, just an appreciation, like you were saying, what Prabhupada has given us is just amazing. And um, and how it is being followed through. Like you said, in every place has its own flavor. Kurmagram will have a flavor, Gita Nagari will have a flavor. The point is that it is being carried forward, and the responsibility we have. In the beginning of the class, you were talking about how when we do Sankirtan, we should do it with enthusiasm and with happiness, so that when people see, they see that this is a wonderful way of living.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people have this opinion, oh my goodness, you don't do this, you're not allowed to do that, it must be so boring, so difficult. But if we do what we are doing with happiness, with enthusiasm, um, not that we have to do it, but that we want to do it, that is what will, you can preach, you can keep on saying things, but if people don't see that we are actually practicing it, and that we are liking it, and that we think it is worthwhile, it is good, it's not going to work. So there is a responsibility also that we should take on seriously and follow. Bhakti Vikas Swami, look at the belief with which he's following his guru's instruction. That is what I am always thinking. There are differences, there are ways. I don't know what exactly the controversy is, but then the faith with which they are following is just amazing.
That's right. Exactly. Variety will be there, different level of realization, different way of doing. But conviction, the spiritual masters, Prabhupada are more. There's one lady who's American who comes to our temple. It's been a long time. Her name is Linda. And always, she's very old lady. And sometimes she cannot walk properly also. But always in her van, she will put very high volume Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And one day she says that she goes to a place, music was not played, and she's a big smile because that man says, are you one of those Hare Krishnas who have the big smiles in their faces all the time? And that's what she was sharing. So people know that Hare Krishnas are happy people, and we are happy people. All we need to do is remain happy and share with others also happiness. Hare Krishna.
Hare
Have a
Krishna.
wonderful day. Thank you so much. Vancha.
Kalpatarubhyascha.
Pasundabhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo.
Prabhu, which verse you finished? 12th or 13th?
That is 13 I finished, Prabhuji.
13 you finished. Okay.